Now then, everybody, hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's Connor. We're back here with your second video of the day, and it's one that I didn't really expect to make. Leicester, they've caught up with you, baby. Leicester going down, fresh charges at the club. We're going to be speaking about it today. Drop a like on the video. We're going to be speaking about maybe potentially how Leeds could take advantage of Leicester City's fall potentially here, but these sound quite serious. Let's play the clip, and then we're going to be getting into some players that might benefit Leeds out of this circumstance.
Whether Ruud van Nistelrooy will be their manager, I think sums up the lack of leadership of the football club. When they were relegated from the Premier League last time around, the owner released a statement within 24 hours. We've not heard from them at all. I think the Jamie Vardy situation with him leaving the football club in a blaze of glory at the weekend has provided a nice distraction and something for the fans to focus on, other than the fact they're heading into the Championship. And as you say, with the latest revelations today, possibly starting next season with a points deduction. So I think it's been really poor from the top. I don't think it's a fair way to treat Ruud van Nistelrooy, who by all accounts has impressed the hierarchy with the way that he's handled himself since relegation. But Leicester fans deserve and are demanding answers. They want to know who is going to be the manager next season. They want to know, will they start next season with a points deduction? And just on that, we are expecting a statement from the EFL, and I'm fully on board with Simon on this. If Leicester find a way to squirm their way out of this again, I think both the EFL and the Premier League will have egg on their faces.
I mean, it's not beyond an overcomable obstacle. Sheffield United got deducted 2 points at the beginning of last season. They still find themselves in the box seat to get promoted.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the analysis that Alex suggests that the Leicester hierarchy are impressed with the way that Ruud van Nistelrooy has handled himself post-relegation. Well, that's bleeding useful. How about you handled yourself a little bit better pre-relegation?
Do you want to combat in that, Alex?
No, I think it's fair. Listen, I thought Ruud van Nistelrooy did a decent job as interim Manchester United manager. Did that give him the credentials to become a Premier League manager? Probably not. And it seemed a bit haphazard at the time that really that decision was based on the fact that two of his games as interim United manager were against Leicester. They both ended in heavy defeat for the Foxes, and that seemed to be enough to convince the hierarchy.
Okay, like enough from Crook there. Alex Crook, a well-known Manchester United fan, of which, Van Nistelrooy talking about Man United there and the Leicester thing. It makes sense, but we don't want to dwell on that. Okay, so the main points from this, everybody, and I want to get into exactly how Leeds can benefit from this. So I've listed down a few of the issues that Leicester are going to face. So I know a lot of you guys will be asking these questions. So what are Leicester City charged of? They're accused of breaching profit and sustainability rules in the 23-24 season, of which Leeds United were part of. Obviously, there was a big hoo-ha about certain things and how they're able to spend, etc., etc. The offences did occur when they were in the Championship. What specifically are Leicester City accused of? They're accused of spending beyond their financial means, and we have to say right now, everybody, classic, nothing's happened about Manchester City yet, which is just a separate point, but we're talking about Leicester. Where's all the Manchester City stuff? We're supposed to be figuring that out in February and March. Nothing's come to light. We're in May now. Mental, really, when it comes to differing standards. But when we're talking about the spending beyond the financial limits, we saw that last season. We spoke about that on the channel. It just seemed that Leicester's squad and how they're able to buff it up was just way beyond their means, and they got through it with a loophole of not releasing their accounts or releasing their accounts. I believe it was a month later, and they got through that, and that was a Premier League. It was an EFL Championship problem in terms of the strength of their rule book in comparison to maybe what it should be. They missed the annual accounts deadline December the 31st, 2024, and not fully cooperating with the Premier League's investigation. That's what obviously they're accused of. Why is the Premier League involved with this if it happened in the Championship? Leicester was promoted back to the Premier League in June 2024. Jurisdiction passed from the EFL to the Premier League after promotion. There you go. So the past appeal success as well, which Leicester have had. They beat a previous PSR charge from 22 to 23 by arguing the Premier League had no authority once they were relegated. This triggered a rule change, as we're all very, very aware of now, but Leicester seemingly got away with it. And we have to say, innocent till proven guilty with this as well, everybody. But the rule tightening is another little point that I've just noted down here. The Premier League has now changed the rules. Clubs can be punished regardless of current league status, something to bear in mind. So obviously, what will happen? Who cares about all this? Why is this relevant to Leeds? Well, what it can mean is fines. It can lead to a transfer ban. It can also lead to a points deduction, which is obviously likely in the Championship. We've seen the fall from grace of a Luton going to a League One. But then we also have not a points deduction there, but just in terms of players moving on and just the decline through the leagues. Could that happen to Leicester? But what we've got to bear in mind as well going into this, as Simon quite rightly said on Talksport, is Sheffield United did start the season with a -2 points deduction, and look where they are now. Wembley final, so that's got to be considered as well. But there may be a points deduction which may be a little bit heavier than that of Sheffield United's, and what's next for them effectively going into this? Well, the club says that it will cooperate with the investigation into Leicester City, but there will be big implications according to the article with the New York Times this morning. Big implications ahead as they prepare for another season in the Championship. Okay, so now we're going to speak about the players of which could be leaving Leicester City. Some of their best players, obviously, we know that Jamie Vardy's gone. He was on a lot of money, which will help Leicester out substantially. But there are probably going to be a fair few leaving Leicester over the next coming months. And this sort of problem right now when it comes to charges will impact that. We're all very, very aware of that, whether or not it comes down to fines, whether it comes down to a ban in the transfer window, them having to let certain players go so they can raise money, of course, which normally happens from going down from the Premier League. But last time out, Leicester were able to keep hold of a hell of a lot of players, indeed. Vardy, we were all very, very aware of some of them. But I'm going to speak on today and some players that Leeds United may be able to look at. I'm going to firstly speak about Mads Hermansen, the goalkeeper, who I think is a Premier League keeper. I think there will be a lot of Premier League clubs looking at him. It makes a lot of sense for them to do so. I think he can make the step up. I think he can bridge that gap. And Mads Hermansen with Leeds United looking for a number one makes absolute complete sense. Unequivocally makes complete sense. And I do think he makes that step up. You surround him with a better defence. I think he's got all the attributes. I think he actually is a good ball player, even though he was criticised for maybe not being that in the Championship under a little bit of pressure, especially at Ellen Road. However, I do think he is a good ball player. I think he's got a lot of potential. He's got an upward trajectory. I think his handling's very good. Seems like a little bit of a leader as well. I'd really like Mads Hermansen. The next player I think that Leeds United could make a little bit of a dent on could be a little bit of a name that we spoke about the other night. Now, I know he's suffered with a cruciate ligament injury, and it's not been his best season when it comes to the step up, but he's someone like Abdul Fatawu. Fatawu was absolutely outstanding in the Championship, absolutely outstanding. For Leeds United, I feel like we need to recruit on the right, because I feel that Nonto and Ramazani currently are the players that on the left are sustenance enough. I think I'd like to see Nonto moved out onto that side anyway, because I think he's better on the left, especially last time we were in the Premier League. I think on the right, if you are to invest, I think Abdul Fatawu, a fit Abdul Fatawu to come in on that right-hand side, maybe for a decent value as well. I know his contract's up until, his contract expires in 2029. However, with what's going on, the noise that's going on at this moment in time, could Leeds pick him up for a decent value as well, with him being injured a lot of this season. I think there is a player that only 21 years of age as well. How good was he in the Championship? If he's a little bit, better in terms of health, I think it'd be a really good, a little bit of a gamble for Leeds United, and maybe a cost-efficient gamble as well. The other one, as you guys have mentioned several times, is El Canouse. Literally left midfield, can play left wing, can play central midfield if you want, but his best position is attacking midfield. 32 appearances for Leicester this season. The price tag is 30 million euros, which obviously is reduced to about 25 million quid. There's been a lot of noise around the Moroccan. I'm a massive fan of him. I think if you were to give me Buonanotte, Enciso, or El Canouse in a line, who would I pick? I love Buonanotte, but I would go with El Canouse. I think his creativity, his balance, his dynamism, how effectively he is when he's shooting on goal is something, with both feet, is something of which I think will be hugely preferential in a creative front line for Leeds United. So I would be looking at him 100%. And a little bit of a wild card, everybody, is James Justin. His contract's up in 2026. We've been speaking about fullback cover. James Justin can cover either side. Could we get him for a decent fee with what's happening? His market value is around 10 million quid. Could Leeds get him for that price, and would it be worth it? We've spoken about Kyle Walker-Peters. We've spoken about Nelson Semedo. We've spoken about many others who are on a free, but would it be worth going for James Justin as coverage for left back and the right back role, which we know he can do? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Leicester fans, if you're here as well, let us know what you think in the comment section below. As I said, innocent till proven guilty, but could some Premier League clubs right now benefit from Leicester's strenuous situation? Like, comment, and subscribe. Check the video out from earlier on. Let me know in the comment section below, everybody. Check out my video with Callum Fowler on the second channel, which is out now. We'll see you in a bit. Cheers.